The liberals and the Republicans don't like him, but America does. You can call Mark Levin at 877-381-3811.
So while you are all working hard, pay more taxes, probably fighting government regulations, doing what you have to do to get by each day, Obama was at his Google Plus Hangout, the Google version of a social site, doing this interview on video. Only one more clip, because his brilliance is so crucial to understanding what's going on in this nation. For you people at the lower end of the economic spectrum, the president cares about you enormously, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. So listen very, very carefully. Cut 11, go.
The next steps, though, are going to be more challenging. And, some of this is ideological, some of it is economic, and it's not all partisan.
Stop. There you go, Mr. Producer. I'm not patting myself on the back. I swear to you I'm not. How many times have I said this man is ideological? For years. So much so that now other hosts say the same thing. That the man operates out of ideology. That science and knowledge and evidence and reason are not what he's about. He's ideological. He's driven by his ideology. I almost feel like some of this is in response to that. Because I know this show is monitored. I know Fox is monitored. I did one of my rare television appearances on Fox, and I went through all of this. So let's start this from the beginning. He's talking about here electricity prices. So those of you who consider yourself on the lower end of the economic spectrum or have tough times paying your bills every month, I want to prove to you that Obama stands with you and for you against millionaires and billionaires. Cut 11, go.
The next steps, though, are going to be more challenging. And, some of this is ideological, some of it is economic, and it's not all partisan. I have to tell you that there are some Democrats, for example, who represent states or districts that are heavily reliant on old power plants and are more heavily manufacturing based. And the truth is that if you produce power using old power plants, you're going to be emitting more carbon, but to upgrade those plants means the energy is going to be a little bit more expensive, at least on the front end.
Oh, stop right there. Oh, so on the front end, as opposed to the back end, energy prices are going to be a little bit more expensive. Now, if I didn't understand this man and his ideology, I would leave it at there and move on. But I'm not going to leave it there and move on. It's going to be a little bit more expensive at the front end. This is a very, very important phrase. Because you need to understand something. Obama understands that what he's doing is going to create misery. Obama understands that what he's doing is going to create destitution. That it's going to push some people over the economic edge. He knows that. He knows that when it comes to his spending. He knows when it comes to his other policies. He knows when it comes to his energy policies. It's going to be more expensive at the front end. But don't worry, because you see, in the end, we're going to have perfect energy. Wind, sun. Oh, it's going to, can you imagine? Oh, it's just unbelievable. Those of you who use drugs heavily, or may have in the past, and you have nightmares and so forth, you would know what he's talking about. Oh, my God, all kinds of things going on in your head, the images of the stars, the rockets, the lightning bolts, or whatever the hell you experience. That's what he wants you to experience when he's talking about his policies. Yeah, that's right. It's paradise. That's paradise. Think of the Wizard of Oz, with the munchkins. Think of that. That's what Obama's thinking of. It's just so pretty and bright, and there's flowers everywhere, and the sun's out, and the birds are flying. Everybody's walking around singing. Yeah, like that. It'll be a little more expensive in the front end. But when we get to the end of the rainbow, oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Paradise. Utopia. He told us it would be there. We just all have to get in on this project. And if we won't volunteer to participate, well then, we'll have to crack the whip. Because we all must, one way or another. So the fact that you're going to have to pay more at the front end for electricity, just think about what's at the end. That's right. Paradise. And that's the point. That's how the man thinks, or at least that's his propaganda. It's going to take a lot, ladies and gentlemen, to fundamentally transform this unjust, inequitable society. Everybody should have part of the American dream. So I am going to make sure that the wealth and the assets and the capital and all the rest of, that is in this society is properly distributed and managed. By me, of course. I'm the Wizard of Oz. Obama's the Wizard of Oz, Mr. Producer. And yet, when you pull the curtain back, what do you find? A little old feeble man. Obama's not a little old feeble man. But his policies are little, old, and feeble. They've been tried everywhere. They've been tried by tyrants. They've been tried by propagandists. They've been tried in little d democracies. They've been tried in fascist regimes and communist regimes and National Socialist regimes, one degree or another. And the anecdote to all of this, of course, is individual liberty. But we can't have individual liberty. Did you hear Obama talk at all about individual liberty during his Castro-like one-hour speech on Tuesday night? No, you didn't. Individual liberty. Private property rights, free enterprise. No. He didn't develop those concepts at all. He rejects them. You got to pay a little bit more at the front end. And by the way, what happens to all those people that work at these power plants when they shut them down? Now, on this program, as you know, we've done story after story of these power plants, these coal-fired power plants being shut down. What happens to those millionaires and billionaires? You know, the people who work at the plant, you know, the people who go down into the coal mines when they come up, they're full of coal dust. Remember they used to be concerned about black lung? We don't hear about that anymore. No. All those hard-working millionaires and billionaires going into the mines, oh well, they'll just have to be retrained to build bridges or solar power plants. Or we'll start a propeller factory, really long assembly line, so we can make propellers for your little cap. And the propellers, you see, they'll keep you warm during the winter and cool during the summer. We'll have it linked up to a battery in your sock. Obama's got it all figured out. We put Bloomberg in the mix. Oh, yeah. And then when you're done eating, they'll take your waste and they'll spread it in the parks. That's right. We'll spread it in the parks. They've got it all figured out. It's going to be beautiful. Just don't resist it anymore. Everybody will have a living wage. Everybody will have health care. Oh, it's going to be great. Everybody will have an education, and we won't have what's called citizenship. It's so archaic, you know. Archaic. No citizenship. We're all citizens of the world, aren't we, really? So let's open up those borders. Let's let our fellow citizens in, or as John Conyers called them, future Americans or something of that sort, future citizens. Let's just be part of the whole world system of citizens. That's right. People will come and go as they wish. Oh, a few terrorists here and there, but that's the price we pay at the front end. The front end. Come on, front end. And besides, Obama said it during his State of Confusion speech. Al-Qaeda's in the shadows now. By the way, Mr. Producer, is everybody in the shadows? Illegal aliens are in the shadows? Al-Qaeda? That must be one big damn shadow, but I digress. It's just going to be really cool. And these electric cars, Well, if they don't work, we'll just all have to live closer together with mass transit. Oh, and if the mass transit doesn't work, we'll get bicycles. You know, bicycles like they used to hand out in Mao's China. Bicycles everywhere. We'll have bicycle paths. Yeah, bicycle paths everywhere. Bicycle paths. Then I have another idea. We'll all wear certain types of clothing depending on our economic class. I mean, Obama talks about it all the time. The middle class, the lower class, the rich, the upper class. You'll just be required to wear a colored uniform. Red for upper class, blue for middle class, yellow for lower class. I mean, why do we have to guess who you are and what you are anymore? Just wear it while you're riding your bicycles around with the propeller on your cap. And why should people be living in single-family homes? What's that? This is a community. A community. We're all in this together, as Obama said. We're all in it together. So we ought to live together. Like in Plato's Republic, or maybe in the book Utopia. Thomas More's Utopia. We'll live together, closer. Sort of communes. We'll have our bicycles, we'll have our uniforms, we'll all know what economic category we're in. We'll have our special caps with our propellers on them. We'll have our bicycles. You don't need cars anymore. It's going to be great. Everybody's going to earn the same amount of money. Michelle Obama will make sure our menus are appropriate. Bloomberg will be in charge of our nutrition. It's going to be great. We won't use styrofoam. We shouldn't use plastic and paper anymore. That hurts the environment. We'll use our hands. That's right. We'll go down to the local river and the local lake. We'll cup our hands and we'll drink like they used to do, 2,000 years ago, even earlier. That's environmentally friendly that way. It's going to be great. It's going to be terrific. We got it all worked out. How sick these tyrants have become, and that's what they are. How sick.